Hi goddesses! Today I want to share with you something that I learned in my high school drama class. So when I was in high school a long time ago, and I lived in British Columbia at this point, I took drama as the elective. And one of the things that we would do in this class is something called improv. Now, maybe you might know what that is. For those of you who don't, it's a form of comedy where the actors themselves make the story up as they go along. So usually you'll get a prompt from the audience, and then each actor will add something more to the story. And it's really fun. Well, actually, I hated it. I hated being on the stage and having to do it, but watching other people, it's so much fun, and it's very creative, and people come up with all kinds of stories, and they take crazy turns. But anyways, I woke up this morning thinking about something that I learned from improv, and that's rule number one of improv is always say yes. And what that means is whatever the previous actor said, whatever statement they made, however they set up that scene, you have to take that in and accept it and continue on the story. So for example, if one actor says, "And we are green aliens who are from the planet Zephyr," the next actor has to continue that story and maybe follow it up with something of their own, like, "Yes, and we have come here to teach humanity how to kiss properly." So you have to, the idea is you have to say yes to what other actors have said. And this is something that I've thought about from time to time in my own life, and how human communication would be so much better if we all worked under that rule. I've noticed that many of us have this incredible emotional addiction, at least here in the Western society, because of how we're schooled and how we're conditioned to be very critical of other people and to really stop their flow. When one of us is speaking and saying our opinion, our insights into something, other people tend to a lot of times want to contradict you. There is this incredible emotional addiction to contradicting people, to fault finding, criticism, making yourself seem bigger and your opinion more important. We don't seem to know how to communicate properly. I think this is an understatement, but I was thinking about how this rule of, in improv, always say yes. The thing is, no matter what the other person says, there's always things in it that you agree with. And wouldn't it be so much better when we're talking to somebody to first affirm what they're saying, that that we agree with, and also just to show that we heard and that we value their opinion, that we value their thoughts. And then if we have something additional to contribute, if we feel that something is missing, that there's more to it, we can add that in. We can say, and, I agree with this is wonderful, and I would like to add this as well. As opposed to what we do, a lot of us, is we immediately, even if 90% of what the person said we like, we immediately focus on something that we don't like. We immediately focus on that one flaw, and it's like, but this, or no, I don't agree with that because blah, 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 blah. And what that does is, again, I was talking about a flow. There's a certain kind of flow in the energy that we all emit. And when somebody does that to you, it immediately feels like they cut down your flow. It's literally like a river. That's how I always imagine it. It's like a river of energy that's flowing that I'm, emitting. And then somebody puts a dam in the river and it's like, no, you shall not move further. And of course, this really annoys me, and I've done it too to other people. I mean, I'm guilty of this as well, because I come from a family that is highly educated, which in some things is a good thing, and in some things it's really not, because there's an emphasis on flaw finding and people feeling like they need to be intellectually superior. And how do you get to be intellectually superior? And that's something that you learn a lot of times in the academic and intellectual circles, to actually put down other people's ideas. That's how a lot of academic careers have been made, by shooting down other people's ideas. I believe that we are completely free to express our opinions and our ideas and to add to what someone else has said or done without needing to shoot their idea down or criticize anything. We can just take the parts of it that we like and add the things that we wish to contribute. There's no need for making somebody, cutting down somebody's flow and making them feel horrible, which, let's be frank, nobody likes this when somebody does it to you. And it's just this vicious cycle that keeps going around and round, where somebody does it to you and then you do it to someone else, and then they do it to someone else. And so I would like to propose that this is something that I'd like to practice in my own life, and I'd like, if you feel like this is something that you resonate with, I'd like to ask you to start practicing this in your own life too. So instead of, when you feel that coming on, that urge to point the finger at something somebody has said and say, well, no, that's not true, and I disagree with this, and so on, to stop yourself and actually just listen to what the person has to say, validate their ideas, tell them what you agree with, and then just add how you see things without any criticism. So, hope you enjoyed this share, goddesses. I'll see you in the